First thing are the minutes. Has everyone-
Yeah. Danny, did you figure out the, for the paving trail yet?
No. I don't think the blacktop was uncovered long enough to see what was going on.
Well, I gotta have it, I gotta have a contract by March first, just so you know.
Yeah.
For the
Okay, no,
ARPA
it's
funds.
fine, it's only a month away, realistically, a month and a half, but.
Okay, I make a motion that the minutes written.
Have a second?
Yep.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Visitors. Is that a visitor tonight?
I guess.
Okay.
I is. The last meeting we discussed moving the drains on the new garage and stuff like that, so I got a chance to talk to Brian. Just getting started, Tony.
I know, we're only a minute late. You
Three.
did it all.
I know the ball game,
AT&T time, we're only a minute late.
clear your head.
Did they score? They were just sitting down, yeah.
Not impressed with that.
If you hurry up, you can get home and watch it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
So the, as far as turning the drains and doing a continuous drain is fine, not a big deal, if that's what you wanna do. The only, what the effect will be is, and I did this little drawing, and you guys can each look at it, and I can kind of explain it as we go. But, so if you do the trench drain by the door, you come in, say 3 feet in, and do like a 3-inch drop. It's a fairly steep. He'd recommend probably going only 2 inches down, but do a small drop at the door, fairly decent little slope at the door. Then you can get away with a minimum of an 1/8 inch instead of a quarter. You could go a 1/8 inch pitch on the slab, which means for every foot you go forward, you're going up another 8. So 50 feet further, you're going to be up 6 1/4 inches. Okay, so you end up with basically a 6 1/2 inch rise on the far side of the building above your door height. Okay, not a big deal. The issue is going to be where your office door is. You're going to have a step down coming out the office. Where your kitchen is, you'll have a step down coming out of the kitchen. Beyond is it the kitchen or the break room? Break room second.
yeah.
So beyond that, they will have to slope the floor a little more aggressively sideways, because you cannot have a step more or less than 4 inches. It's a trip hazard.
Yeah.
It's code. You cannot. So there would have to be some sort of a break there, maybe a railing or something there to stop people from, or it would be a little tricky on the slab to make that work to the next room, which I think is the hallway for the entry, and then the kitchen. By the time you get to the kitchen and the utility room and those rooms, you could the slab could be floated out. It's not a big deal. It's just you're going to have a step at the office and you're going to have a step at the break room. You will have a step down because you're not going to slope your office slab.
So you're gonna have to
slope
put a
the kitchen.
railing.
No, you don't have to put a railing because it's
one
only
step.
6 inches.
I mean, that would be fine.
It's actually, by the time you get over here by the drain, it's going to be it's probably going to be more like 7 maybe, but you're not going to be, it's not out of code. You're okay. You're just going to have that step on the edge.
And where your back tires are, gives you a taller garage, and lift your box up tall.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think you might
you
make
gain
it
another
ever.
2 to 3 inches.
I mean, I wouldn't
Sweet
mind
top.
that.
So,
That clip belong on here?
So the red line is basically the slab height for the office and the kitchen, break room, all them things. The dash line that I put across there is your door height. It's 0, your 0 line. So that's where you end up. You can see the slope slab and the gutter. And he said he would come in at least right around at least 3 feet with that. and he wouldn't go any, he
Now,
tried
how
to
does
keep,
that affect the
try to keep it at 2
4-H
inches.
guys?
No,
Doesn't affect them at all.
no, 3 foot's plenty, they'll have plenty of room.
Okay.
So we can, I mean, that's basically it. If you wanna run it.
No, it's not basically it, because if we have the floor drains and everything's running into the sediment tank, I just want you guys to understand that if you're washing in there and these trucks are drying off in there and everything's going into these drains, we could be looking at, you know what I mean, pumping this tank out 3, 4, 5 times a year, depending on what you're doing in there. So that's an added expense every single year on top of that, just so you know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's going to, that'll depend on how much they wash inside versus washing outside. If you're washing a lot inside, then obviously it's going to fill up fast, but
A 3,000 gallon tank fills up in a hurry, like it doesn't take long if you're gonna be.
If they're doing the nice days, they wash outside like they have been and whatnot, the runoff from the trucks, I don't think you're going to get as much runoff as you think, because I think with an 8-inch slab, there's going to be a lot of evaporation. And a 1/8 inch pitch, it takes a while for that, especially from the front of the truck and the plow and all that. It's going to take a little while for that water to get to that drain.
Much water actually getting.
But if you're gonna wash, can you wash in the
We have to
repair
clean
bay?
Yeah, but the repair, right now, the repair bay is going to have the drain.
I thought you said it wasn't.
If you're going to
If
go
you're gonna do it
continuous drain, you kind of
continuous.
have to.
Yeah,
Because then you got the same issue where you have the curb like you do with the, you'd have to stop the drain between bay 5 and 4. You'd have to stop the drain short and slope that, do that abrupt slope
Yeah.
towards bay 4. So your drain would, instead of being, say, even with your door, your drain's gonna be back. Let's say 12 foot instead of 16-foot door. I don't know the numbers. We'll have to have them scale it out. But even at the 1/4 inch per foot, you're.
I mean, if we go all the way across the floor of all 5 days, it's, you know, we don't wash that much, and, you know, we usually find a good day to do the washing outside.
That's kind of what I was thinking. You, for the most part, you wash outside already, and if you tend to stay with that program, I don't think you're going to have as much water.
A whole bunch inside.
And,
That's the program we make mandatory.
but ideally, I think, just for safety's sakes, I would probably try to see if we can have Brian see if we can do some sort of a slope where bay 5 does not have that. The only issue is going to be you're going to lose on your ceiling.
So bay 5 would tip back. You just slope it back to that pitch.
Well, you're going to be you'd be a 17.6 instead of an 18
yeah, but you're
ceiling.
not putting trucks
Yeah,
in
but
there.
you're going to. It's just going to be like a circle thing here, and it's slowly going to pitch to that point where the drain is. You know, it's not going to be.
In bay 5,
Yeah.
you're still going to have a drain in there.
No, you would take the drain away. You just slope that whole bay crooked. You've got a
Yeah,
12,
you could.
14, 15 foot bay. You got to go from the high point down 3 inches. And
6.
15, 6
6
inches.
inches.
And that distance is not that big.
No, that's the problem. Your distance is not that big, but your elevation is low, so it makes it steeper.
You can't use the 1/4 inch pit.
You can, but what you're going to have is from the edge of between bay 5 and 6, or 4 and 5, from that point, the 1/4 inch.
Doesn't
per
matter.
foot,
It's
you're
still
gonna be
all
back.
pitching back into the drain. So finish your drain off to the end. Don't make a difference.
Does everything have to go?
Yeah,
into
you
a tank?
wouldn't pitch bay 5.
That's what you put drains in. Don't if you don't put any drains in.
You're not going to pitch drain 5 to the outside wall sideways.
I've been in a lot of shops with or without them.
What's the state do? I was going to go today and I didn't have time. Does the state have any drains?
I don't know.
Any state garage have a drain?
I don't know.
Yeah,
They don't even have fuel. Who's got a drain?
you just first get drains.
Does it? I've never been in there.
I'm sure they do. When they first built it, from when I ain't been in that garage. When they first built it, they put drains in, and the state came out and said you can't have drains. So they cemented them, and then 3 years ago, they hammered them out and put the whole floor out and put drains in.
They probably did it because of the tank. They finally got a tank and the permits and all that crap done for the tank. They probably didn't have a tank initially.
I'm not 100% sure on that, I don't.
More likely, it's probably a tank issue. Environmental issue. That's why they wouldn't let them do it. Be my assumption. Anyways, turning the drains is not a big deal. We'll come basically 3 feet, do a 2-inch pitch from the door, which is a fairly steep little pitch. So you ain't gonna have any water running out the door. And then do the continuous pitch all the way to the front of the other end of the shop, and add it at 1/8 to the foot, and the top of the slabs is what it is over by the workbench.
I don't think they're gonna bang their head on the ceiling.
No. And the only thing you're gonna have is there's gonna be a couple doors minimum that you will have a step down coming out of the office, whether you put a step in front of the door and then step down, or you make the door right at the door, which I would probably make it right at the door for trip hazards.
So Montgomery's got step downs and all their things.
They have a hallway.
But they gotta step down out of the hallway.
Yeah, there's painted yellow right there.
Yeah, but theirs is because they have their garage slab is a different elevation than their offices. So they have it all the way through, and then actually at the utility room, they have a ramp to address it. They have it all the way across that whole end of the building. Basically, they took their garage slab, poured that, and then they poured a new slab for the offices and all the utilities and that stuff. That's how they would do that. But I can get a hold of Ann in the morning, tell her to change it, but
In other words,
The only
if we
thing-
keep
yep.
changing things,
We gotta
it's costing
decide.
more, so we gotta figure out something, but just letting you
we
know
gotta
that
finalize
whatever
these
you do,
plans because we need to get the permit
Any
process
of
started.
these things are
So
gonna
this
run
is
into
the only
that,
sticking point they had.
yeah. It's gonna run into that, like I said, the sediment tank
And
that
the
we have to
sediment
pump
tank, so
out.
that's the whole thing, the reason why nobody's putting these in.
Yeah, cause you have to have the
And if
tank.
the floor dries,
Realistically,
Yeah, realis-
that gutter.
it's gonna be full of dirt and not
Yeah.
hardly ever any water.
Yeah, well, the thing with that gutter is you really could put a you're gonna have a stem in it that'll catch all your dirt and crap
Yeah,
in
all
your
it's
gutter.
gonna be, it could be
Yeah,
2 inches, an inch.
it'll be roughly
up
half
in
of,
it, so
half of the
water
gutter.
would fucking-
Usually it's half the depth of the gutter, somewhere in that range. So you've got a place for your sand and stuff to collect, and just the water goes in. It allows your water to evaporate before it runs in, if it's the smaller amounts of
Minimum
water.
amount, yeah.
And it's about $1,000 a whack to pump it out, so like, even if you did it 4 times a year, it's like $4,000, so.
You gotta,
You know what I mean, just saying, it's,
it's just gonna
That's where you're
it'll be
at.
just like your electric bill, your heat bill,
everything's gonna go up
everything's
on
gonna
this.
be adjusted once the new building's up. That's just something that'll be part of your budget next year. It is what it is. You're not gonna change that. You're not gonna get a new building and not have more bills twice the building.
But then the heat might be, a little bit less.
Cheaper,
than what
yeah.
we've got going on now.
You might save some money on heat.
Or it might be the same.
It'll be a lot tighter.
I would hope they'd be a little more efficient. I realize it's bigger, but it should be more efficient, so it shouldn't.
And the radiant's gonna be more efficient than trying to heat air anyways.
Yeah, so it's all good.
So
what do people want?
tell me what you want me to do.
Don't look at me.
Need a motion?
I don't know if you need a motion, but
Turn the drains
I
or
need-
drop the drains.
need-
So everybody
Two
has
choices.
to agree, so, or
I
vote
just-
on it, I guess.
I'm good with that.
Turn the
in front of
drains in
door.
the front.
How far from the door are they gonna be?
3.
3 feet.
I move we keep the drains.
Okay.
We don't need no special permits or
Keep the,
nothing.
you say
3
keep
feet
the
from the door.
drains.
Turn them
The
3
way
feet. this way.
sideways, the whole building,
Okay,
that way. Right from one end, right to the other.
drain in front of every door.
Yep.
Done deal. Same slab all the way from.
They're still gonna have to pay attention to the doors, cause there could be water from there to there where they make
3
freeze.
feet's a long ways, yes.
All those in
Kick
favor?
your doors when you go in.
Everybody agree?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make my phone calls tomorrow, get a hold of Ann and Brian and revamp their stuff and see how quick we
This is it, no more changing your minds.
I mean, the rest of the building, the rest of the building is,
If they,
Yeah.
the other thing, like.
my issue is if they can't, I mean, we can't expect them to have it done for next Monday. So my thing is if
No, the
it's,
29th's our next,
if it's 2 weeks out
yeah.
and we bring the plans and everything's good and then you say, yes, this is it, let's go. We're looking at the 1st February and we're just starting permits. And we got a lot of state permits to fill out and wait for the state. So we need to get on this if you want the garage done before November, December, when he's trying to park his trucks in there. And everything else.
Gets done when it gets
Well,
done.
it gets done when it gets done.
Yeah,
Hopefully-
permits, get the permits, you get them, you get them. If it
Get
ain't
the
done by
shell
December,
up.
it ain't done by December.
But you
There's
don't
a
want
shell
them
up, we
working
can-
in the winter because then it takes twice as
No,
long to
no.
do the work and you're
Get the
paying
shell
your
up,
workers.
finish the
Yeah.
inside in the winter.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you
if you
don't
got
wanna
equipment in
hire
there, you
somebody
can't
in the
just-
winter.
It's
No,
not past
we
the-
got a
garage ain't going
shop
nowhere.
that's gonna be there until the other one's done.
Right.
I mean,
But if we can
once-
get it-
Once the shell's up.
It would be
I mean,
ideal, we could
basically,
start April 1st, but that's not looking
No,
ideal.
Well, first of all, you gotta
You
get the
did
town,
say the state,
you'll
right?
have to get the town to approve running up and down the roads with gravel trucks in April.
oh, that's right.
Roads are posted till the 15th of May. Or May 1st.
And the
sometimes,
road
if you're lucky.
commissioner needs to, yeah, no.
Can't always take favors. Anyways, I'm just picking.
We'll see, all depends how the spring turns.
More
Turns
to-
out like last spring we'll be spraying chloride and opening the roads up early.
Right, but but the thing, we don't know what's gonna happen in May, and we don't even know if we're gonna have permits by May.
What's that?
So, until we got all the permits in order, and then April and May, you got April, you got mud season, he's busy. So, what are you gonna do about digging that hole?
Brian's
hire it out.
figure it out, we can, Brian's gonna figure it out, and then we can hash out.
We're gonna have to dig that out, and then, it'd be nice to have somebody
With what?
basically ready, kind of ready to backfill it.
Cause chances are the digging out's gonna be done and we'll fill it. We're just
Well,
to
you're
pack the
gonna-
gravel out, we can.
You're gonna
move
truck
that
the
in
gravel
later.
in, but we're gonna, if Sean and I are gonna do it, we're gonna get like Scott or
Scott
Wrights,
Review
or
somebody,
we're gonna get
yeah.
somebody in there that's got the equipment, they know how to tamp it, because you gotta have that's, every foot has to be tested. If you look at the prints, every foot of 12-inch maximum backfill, and it has to be tested and approved before the next 12-inch. So we can't just dump a bunch of dirt in there and just keep filling it and keep filling it and keep filling it, and then hope it passes. It gets tested every 12 inches.
Yeah, it's like some on concrete stuff.
Just like any road job.
Yeah.
Like those bridges that they put in, anything like that. It's all, so it's just as easy to get somebody in it, been doing it, knows how to test it, can have the test, and they got all that stuff. So that's what we're looking at, on our
And
end.
we just.
We already know, alright, trucks are gonna do what they can. We're
Yeah,
not
no,
gonna have to do the whole
Yeah,
thing.
we just do what we
Yep.
can.
If we would've known this year was gonna be the way it was, we could've already had that all dug out. Cause I still don't think the ground's frozen much, is it?
No, but you can't dig it up too early because it will fill full of water.
And it'll settle, the sides will settle, it just makes a mess. You still have to scrape the last 6 inches or so before you can start working on it. You could rough it out, but you wouldn't wanna finish it. Okay,
Well, thank you.
I'm gonna
Thanks, Ed.
make my
Hey,
calls.
text us with the games up there.
I don't have TV, I can't tell you.
Danny.
Don't forget to check on supper when you get home.
Okay, dear.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you having? Yeah.
Could have brought it.
I threw cube steak in a cast iron pan and put it on the wood stove and said, hopefully it's doing something by the time you get back.
Hopefully it's not burnt, because I'm gonna get that, the burnt else.
Send your picture of
Might
that.
be having beef
Plenty of
jerky for supper.
barbecue sauce.
Warm up.
When's Vern and them guys coming to our meeting? I thought that
Next one, the 29th.
was, okay.
Yeah, they're coming the 29th.
Dang.
Not really much to report, I mean, since last week, we've been plowing and sanding and, I called Prescott up about the price of them culverts, I have not heard back from them.
It's been a vacation.
Yeah.
He does have stuff on the email, but when I looked at it, he sent back some stuff, but nothing had a number on it. And I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Okay.
You know what I mean, like, not a big deal, whatever, but, just since you are the one on the board, I just want you to know that we do have to try to get a hold of, what's his name from Pike, and just, I have to have some
I think
sort
he's
of
on vacation,
something,
right?
right?
You know, too.
I'm just saying, get a hold of him just so that he knows in the works. I'm sure he knows all about ARPA funding and
Yeah.
the whole shebang, but I have to have a contract by March.
Yeah.
Because
Now,
when I
is
do
that-
that reporting, I have to send that through.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just gotta, yeah. You know,
Oh, it looks like it's gonna be a long, well, except for tomorrow, but it's gonna be a cold week and probably can get a few things done.
yeah. You know what I mean? I just meant like, you know what I mean? If you get a hold of Brendan, I think his name is, right? Or Brandon,
You know,
Brendan.
yeah, I haven't said his name, like I told you.
Yeah, but anyway, just so that they know, you know, to come out here and, you know, we only need it for the 140,000. Don't need it for,
Yeah,
All
okay,
of
I
it,
mean,
that's
yeah,
all.
I mean, we can do that.
do it on the North Road, whichever.
Joe Montag,
Yeah.
That's,
yeah, that's the pipe guy.
okay.
I'll give him a call. Besides that, if anybody else has anything else?
No,
So we're gonna talk budget or
not yet.
not yet? What else we
Well, kind of, sorta. So you guys had decided that the $5,000 for the Franklin County Field Days, you wanna put as a line item in the budget. I mean, on the ballot. So if we do that, we have to put it out there that we're raising this amount of funds. If you approve this, then we're raising this amount of funds, which is fine. It's not a huge thing, but you want it as a line item on the ballot. So that the voters,
Can just to decide.
Right.
okay,
whether we
just
spend that
making
money or
sure.
not.
Okay, no, it's fine. Yep. Because I actually didn't have a motion to do that.
No, because I think we wanted to wait till we had everybody here to.
Yeah, no, which is fine, that's why I'm saying I need a motion in order
I'll
to
make
do
a
that.
motion that we put it on the ballot to see if the voters want us to pay for that.
Okay, no, that's fine, I can do that, I'm good with that. That's the CLA, which our CLA and our COD went down, and we're already on the reappraisal list, so it really doesn't matter that much. The next thing is the, our certificate of highway mileage, we have to sign every year. I looked it up, it has not changed one bit from last year, so there's absolutely,
To make a motion
Nothing
to
different,
sign,
yep. Yep.
what's it called?
it's the certificate of highway mileage.
Make a
You have
motion
to
we
just
approve
certify that you did not
certificate of
change your
highway
highway
mileage.
mileage.
Second?
Yeah,
Okay. All those in favor?
I
And I think you're the only one that has to sign it, is it
Okay.
on the bottom, I think.
did for a second.
Okay, so Jolly Associates, it's liquor license. We have their second class, their tobacco, and I can't remember the last one. They have three. Okay, they have a second class. tobacco, and I thought they had one more, but oh, they have 2 tobacco ones, I'm not sure why. So, in other words, do you wanna just approve all of their licenses?
All their licenses.
Yep,
I make a motion to approve Jolly's liquor license and 2 tobacco licenses.
Second.
Tony. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now
and
this,
I don't need anybody to sign them, cause they're on the computer, I just need the approval on that
now
one.
this might be old news. Did the Owl Cafe people ever get their liquor license?
Nope, they do not have one.
Who enforces that? Are they,
I sent it in,
oh, okay.
and I don't know if they still sell anything
Oh,
or
okay.
not, so I
I
really
just
don't
wondered.
know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing is, I know we went over this, but I wasn't sure where you guys were at, like, so I am gonna do a warning, for the borrowing on the town garage, cause I have to do a warning for the bank, that's what they want, so I'm gonna do the warning for the next meeting, whatever. But were we looking at getting a construction loan or a regular loan, because I did not write it down after the last meeting, do you guys remember where we were
Tony
at?
said something about it.
The construction was the one,
It was higher interest, but when you're done, you're not at that, you know what I mean? If we borrow 1.5 and this comes in at 1.2, that's all you're borrowing. Do you know what I'm
So
saying?
you do a construction loan, you find out what the final total is gonna be.
Right.
And hopefully, in 6-7 months from now, that the interest rates have gone
Goes down, that's where we're at, yeah. And, but I didn't ask them yet we only got quotes on a 20-year, and we can go up to 25 years, which is fine. You know what I mean, like, we can go up to 25 years on when we reborrow, the construction loan's a construction loan, that's straight out. But did you want me to get quotes from other banks while we're at it, or, like I said, I wrote no
Well, get a
notes down, and that
couple.
was my own call.
Might as well
Okay.
Get a couple, that way there, somebody will sharpen your pencils
Okay.
maybe.
Right.
But I'm still putting the warning out for the next meeting as our, you know what I mean, I'll put it out there tomorrow, I'll get all of that information, we'll have it all for the next.
Your
Meeting.
warning, do you have an amount in there that we're looking at?
Nope, I just have to do a warning that's 15 days ahead of time, so it probably will be the February whatever meeting that we'll put it out for, and then be like, this is what we're doing.
Cause we should have some numbers here pretty,
Yeah, no, I can get numbers for the 29th meeting, but we can make a decision, cause I have to warn it 15 days ahead of time, and this is the 15th, so.
So this is
So
just,
our first meeting in February, where you guys will decide exactly what bank you're gonna choose.
So
But I
this
have
is-
to have it a warned meeting, because that's what the banks
this is just a
want.
warning saying this is a decision we're gonna make.
Right.
At that time, okay.
Yep, so that the public all knows they can come in and,
so how long, how long, or when is it you think we're gonna have to get the loan? Won't be until we start, right?
a construction loan means you only pay the interest.
I know, but when?
you only pay what you're.
Yes, but when do you
When
think,
would we start?
when do you
start
start
signing
us
checks?
getting, to
We'll
start?
start building.
When you start
But it won't
building,
be,
When you
won't be
start
right
building.
off.
so,
No.
yeah,
No.
the carpenters
wanna be
get paid,
approved
you
ahead of
owe
But it
this
won't be
much
right, it
money.
won't be right off though, you're
Yeah.
talking, we're not borrowing any money
We'll
yet,
use
until
up our,
down the road.
Yes,
Yeah.
cause
Our
there's a
little
little bit of
pile.
work to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Even though you're a municipality, but when you're borrowing that amount of money, there's a lot of work
I
to.
would think once we
Yeah,
start
'cause every
cementing,
time-
then
You know,
The
once,
bills will
once,
be-
once we say, okay, Harrison Concrete needs
X amount.
$50,000 this week, so we call the
But
bank
we
up.
won't be
and they-
borrowing any money till spring probably, at least, right?
oh, it'd be lucky.
Yeah.
Right,
No,
yeah,
I
They'll be
mean,
lucky if it
no,
falls
no.
when they start.
Yeah. No, you're
if
right,
it's down the-
yes.
I mean, that's, we're just getting an approval to.
yes,
Those
we're getting
permits
it,
take a
yes,
while.
yes. Okay, so nope, that's fine, okay, when is our February meeting? It's the,
Oh,
it's
So
okay.
the next one's the 29th, so then
Jason's looking it up so we
2
can
weeks
move
after
on
that.
to the
Be
next
the
thing, so
4th.
that's alright.
Valentine's.
My calendar hangs on the wall.
Yeah, it's probably
Probably that far away from me up here. I look up and I can't.
So it'll
read
be
the
the
numbers,
12th.
So I put the glasses on. Still
Okay,
can't
the
read the
12th will
numbers,
be
but
the
they're a little
warning
less
then.
blurry.
Okay,
well, the 26th,
okay.
probably here, but
All right, I think I'm good.
You think? Or you don't?
You celebrate last night?
No, I
Yeah.
no.
That was
Actually, I don't, but that's beside.
Make a motion for
I
it.
said, I bet you Andy's laughing. Everybody.
Have a motion to close the meeting?
I moved to close the meeting.
Oh, we have a second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.